Welcome to the fourth lesson in the What is Investment Banking chapter on investment banking interns. So let's dive into the role of an intern at an investment bank. Interns are expected to display interest and learn as much as possible about the industry. The tasks that an intern receives are generally similar to the work performed by analysts. Some of the items and tasks discussed in this module will become more clear when we cover the functions of investment banks in chapters 3 and 4. Feel free to revisit these materials with those concepts in mind after completing the course. Nonetheless, let's dive into a typical day in the life of an investment banking intern. So, assume you arrive to the office around 7:30 a.m. and begin your morning by reading emails and preparing for your day. At 8:30, you'll listen in on a check-in meeting that consists of analysts and associates in your deal team. High-level bankers usually lead these meetings, going over timelines and deliverables. At 9, you have a few hours to practice creating some financial models. Many different banks will give interns practice materials to become more familiar with the work done by the firm. Lunchtime begins around 11:30 a.m. and is commonly eaten at the desk. There are a few interns and analysts around you as you finish up your lunch and get ready to get back to work. At 12:30 p.m., you help out an analyst by creating a slide in Microsoft PowerPoint for an upcoming client presentation. You continue your day by hopping on a client call at 2 p.m. The Microsoft Teams call includes a managing director, an associate, the client, and yourself. Your job is to take notes to send out to the team once the call is finished. At 3 o'clock, you complete some market research assigned by an analyst. The goal is to research a specific branch of businesses in a similar region to one of your bank's clients. With a little bit of downtime, you finish up some quick random assignments and eat dinner around 5:30. At 6:30, another deal team meeting takes place to review a client's timeline and prepare for the rest of the week. After it's over, you send your team your notes from the call and make a list of possible tasks for tomorrow. At this point, your work will largely depend on the bank you work for and the level of busyness of the firm overall. A bank's deal flow is its current workload and number of active clients. Finally, at some point after 8 o'clock, your fellow analysts and interns finish up for the day and leave the office. It's important to note that every bank is different. Investment banking can be very difficult, and managing expectations is critical before accepting an internship offer. In investment banking, collaboration is key. Throughout the day, interns communicate with different levels of full-time bankers at the firm. Understanding how the intern fits into the deal team is critical when working on high-pressure deals for long hours. Interns and analysts are one step apart. They will have the highest number of interactions. This is basically the primary point of contact for any quick questions or comments. Analysts will use interns to help accomplish mundane tasks or online research. Associates are slightly different. Most of an intern's communications with an associate tend to relate to checking work products or helping facilitate conversations with higher-level bankers. For the most part, the associate position communicates in a very similar way to analysts when dealing with interns. Higher-level bankers usually have completely different interactions with interns. Contact is specific and very limited, mostly trying to get to know who the interns are. Sometimes, these bankers will provide interns with what I call personal projects, which are essentially one-off tasks that help produce some work product for the higher-level banker. Keeping communications brief, professional, and straightforward is the key when dealing with VPs and MDs. So, what makes the perfect investment banking intern? You'll need a combination of soft skills and hard skills. Soft skills have to do with personality traits and work ethic. One of the most important skills to master in investment banking is attention to detail. You need to make sure you don't mind tedious or time-consuming work that requires focusing for extended periods of time. Communication and collaboration is also a key to a successful internship. Hard skills refers to technical understanding. This is mostly numbers and the quantitative stuff. Unlike soft skills, most banks will expect you to have less of a technical understanding coming into the internship, which is totally fine. It's expected that you will learn a great deal on the job. Accounting and financial modeling are critical at a basic level to performing many Excel tasks in investment banking. Next chapter, we will provide a solid conceptual understanding of some of the tools investment bankers use to value a company. In our courses on landing and crushing an investment banking interview, we go into detail on how to position yourself as the perfect internship candidate. In general, a well-rounded and likable intern will always be the most successful. Hard work ethics and good team skills are vital when working with busy, determined investment bankers. Just like with other positions, banks engage in a hiring process for junior year interns. This process is known as a recruiting cycle. By taking potential candidates through a course of interviews and applications, banks get to know students and decide who to offer a position. The beginning of this process usually entails networking. Networking simply refers to the process of reaching out and creating connections with people working in the industry. Banks have been moving the recruitment process earlier and earlier to stay competitive and find the best talent. Most college students will need to begin networking and preparation in August at the start of their sophomore year. This means that students interested in banking should begin efforts to secure an offer nearly 2 years before the actual start date of an internship. Recruiting and networking are not easy. They require a foundation of focused strategies and incredible time management skills. Oftentimes, the best candidates will lose out on potential offers due to a lack of competitive networking. Our targeted courses on how to land and crush a banking interview will dive deep into what's needed to succeed in the recruitment process. We highly recommend checking out these relevant materials after finishing the remainder of this course and developing a basic understanding of investment banking. Coming up next, it's time for Chapter 2. We'll use simple analogies and definitions to discuss valuation methods, focusing on what you really need to know about how these methods fit into investment banking on a day-to-day basis. We'll also slowly build up our content to reach the level of understanding necessary to begin meaningful preparation for technical interviews.